Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. It's time for the agenda. And on the agenda this morning, we're looking or having an insight into the Uganda's alcohol policy. And this comes right after Balambargahara, the Minister for Local Government, passed a directive on the 11th of August therein that had a lot of instructions therein, but one that caught many, or some that caught many Ugandans' eyes, is one regarding alcohol, where he said that number one, each local government should make sure that persons under 18 years must be protected from alcohol, but also the stopping of early morning alcohol consumption, and therein bars and malwa joints to open after 3 p.m. on working days, and of course enforcing the lawful directive that was given by him. Of course, different players, different Ugandans came up with different perspectives into this very directive as was given by the Honorable Minister in the light of law, in the light of enforcement, in the light of it being actual and this directive being implemented. But please be reminded that Honorable Sarah Opendi did table the alcohol policy one time in 2023 on the floor of Parliament. That was later on rejected by Parliament, and it had some of the directives that Honorable Balambargahara gave from that bill or proposal that Honorable Sarah Opendi proposed on the floor of Parliament, and eventually was rejected. And therein, it questions and begs many questions for Uganda's alcohol policy. What exactly does it say? Is it exactly active? Does it really make sense, or it's just on paper? Uganda is known to have laws or policies written, beautiful policies written down on paper, but many times remain on paper, or if not used by other countries and benefited from by other countries. Now in studio with me is Richard Baguma, Board Vice Chair of the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, alongside Edgar Ntensibe, who is the online communications manager at the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance. They are here to speak into that very, very issue. And I'll definitely start off with both of them giving me their two cents regarding what the directive holds by the Honorable Balambargahara. But I'll definitely start off with a good morning to the gentleman. And starting with my immediate neighbor, Richard Baguma, a very good morning to you.
There are two things that I want to start with.
Right.
In my good morning.
All right.
The first one, as I always do, when I'm on air, I'm regularly on air.
Right.
Is I thank God.
Amen.
I thank God that He has kept me alive. He gives me the platform to come and speak. I did my first program in the studios down here below in 1992. That was the first time I went on air as the Minister of Information intern on Radio Uganda, and then I went to UTV. So when I come back here, I am home.
Lovely.
Here,
so welcome home.
I was a civil servant. Yeah, so this is home. I am glad to be back. So good morning. Thank you for staying with UTV and the Radio Uganda, then UBC TV, and now, and all the expanded channels. We really thank you for patronizing us, and we hope we'll stay with you for this program.
All right, indeed, thank you very much. A very good morning to you, Edgar.
Good morning to you. It's very nice to be at the national broadcasters this morning for a very important talk about what's happening in the country and what has been happening in the country.
Right. And speaking into the directive that was given by Honorable Balambargahara, I'll start with you, Edgar, there. What were your 2 cents the moment you saw his tweet?
I was very happy with, most especially, the sections 3, 4, and 5 that spoke directly to alcohol.
Right.
There was one that talked about protecting minors. Minors, in his tweet, he gave the number of 18. There is a bit of a problem with that. Why do I say there is a problem? This book I'm holding, National Alcohol Control Policy of 2019, a minor is determined as someone below the age of 21, not 18. Okay. So that needs to be corrected. When you look at the hours of opening up bars, like he said, or like he recommended, from 3 onwards, then he said weekends, drink as you like. It is very contentious, an issue in this country. Some people say they work at night, so they prefer consuming their product during the daytime. But then most of us do not consider, most of the people who make that statement do not consider that majority of us in the country don't work at night. So we sleep during the day. Now, if you're going to be sleeping during the night and working during the day, you need to be sober for one reason. Minus being sober, it helps all of us as a country to stay in a safe way, moving in a safe way. For example, you're moving on the road, or you're here at work, or you're even at your home.
Right.
Being alcohol-free works for all of us as much as possible. Now, for those who want to have their drink, yes, you can have your drink, but can we have it in a more orderly way, in a more regulated way? That is where this now comes in, this policy. The policy, yes, exists. Like you said, implementation. Yeah, that is where the problem is.
Let me come to you, Mr. Baguma. What were your 2 cents the moment the directive was issued?
I actually was interviewed immediately. My position on alcohol regulation and the control is very well known. I've been at it for a while. And I said, when I meet Barugahara, I will give him a hug. Yes, that's what I said. I'm going to give him a hug. I'm going to give him a thank you hug. I'm going to give him another hug to tell him, please do not be intimidated, because that's the most important tactic that is used when we start talking about the evil of alcohol. But I just want to say, so why does a government go through all the pain of making a policy? It means there is a problem they are addressing. This policy, in its preamble, it tells us that alcohol is a risk factor for more than 200 diseases, health conditions. This is a very special product that we are talking about. It hammers the body, it hammers the head. It doesn't leave you anywhere. But also, this country is the #1 drinking country, #1 on the continent of Africa.
And #5 in the rest of the world.
So I want you to imagine that your home, God forbid, is known in the LC1 as the one of drunkards. That your home is the home known in the village as #1 drunkards. Will anybody come to Kwanjura, any of the girls? Will any of the girls want to marry there? Will you be having a lot of respect from the village that for you, Baba Manyi Munyo Mwenge, mwe #1, mwe msinge chitiwa. Kukaro. This is why this is important.
Right.
We must save this country from its drowning in alcohol. It must be by policy, it must be by regulation. So when Balam, the Honorable Barugahara, as a Munyoro he is, has the courage, and you see he woke up. The Honorable Barugahara has been touring the districts. He reached there, he realized, like we have been saying for years, that one of the highest underminers of development in this country is alcoholism. I can tell you, PDM cannot succeed. I can guarantee you with this kind of alcoholism. You give them money, they wake up at the bar. The other example, and I shut up, is that I want you to imagine you have your son or daughter, you have your husband or wife, you have your parent, And they wake up, and at 7 o'clock, they are walking to the bar. They are exercising their freedom and rights. And every morning, they wake up to go to the bar. 7 a.m. Is really that right? Is it what we want? I think we need to applaud Baram. I think so.
All right. You are watching UBC TV, and we're having an insight into Uganda's alcohol policy. That's why we do have experts at that from the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, and that is Richard Baguma, who is the board vice chair, alongside the online communications lead at the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, that is Edgar Ntensibe. Be part of the conversation, 0709-602-592. Send a WhatsApp message. Ask that question, share your opinion, and let's learn and relearn together. Edgar, looking at your docket of online communication, how much of a problem or how much of a solution is the current way we communicate and technology amplifying or reducing the threat of alcohol consumption in Uganda?
I will start with the problem.
Okay.
Because the problem takes the biggest chunk of it all. Every single day that goes by, alcohol is easy accessible on our gadgets like this. Be it phones, be it the tablets, be it the computers, the TVs. Every single day, the alcohol industry just keeps on finding creative ways. They just keep on getting closer and closer and closer. And that means we're having many more people exposed. And when I say many more people, look at Uganda's population. We are very young a country. Yes. Majority of us, we're not even above 25. That's the saddest part. Most of our people are in their late teens and 23, 24. We are so young. Now, most times we talk about prevention. What is the best way of preventing? Keeping somebody away from this very unique product. How do you keep them away? Make access to this alcohol extremely hard. Advertising, going to the shops to buy this alcohol or even ordering it, make that process very hard for them. For those that are underage, those that want to really consume and they're above the age, please do so, but in a regulated way. But then for the kids, the very young people, especially our adolescents, anyone who's not yet 25, you're honestly very young. You have no business with this. Right. At a personal level, you have no business with alcohol, because alcohol, like Mr. Baguma said, it is the one drug that will destroy your entire body, from the hair all the way to your toenails. It will not spare anything. It will take everything from you, and that is just the body. But there is a lot more it takes.
Do you think that tagline, when every alcohol brand is advertising, do not sell to persons under 18, is it enough?
No.
Is it loud?
Loud? Not really. Not really. Like, remember my opening statement, I talked about the age? The age that is in here and that is written outside in the world, in the real world. That is the problem. If your policy says 21, why do they insist on 18? What are they trying to cover up there? If this, because this has the logo of the country, Republic of Uganda, we must maintain what is here. 21. We have to delay the onset of these young people consuming alcohol. Yes. The more you delay it, chances are very high majority of them won't pick up on that. But the earlier they start, the thing he has talked about, 7 a.m. Night shift has ended now, day shift is starting.
You know, the directive of Honorable Balam Barogahara came with a very interesting examples there. In Along Kololo, I know a bar that has morning prep. It has what is called morning prep. So in other words, you do your morning prep from about 5 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Imagine.
That's their arrangement, morning prep. So anyways, let me come to you, Mr. Baguma. I love the ironing out that Edgar points out when it comes to the policy versus what's on ground. 18 years, 21 years, who is fooling who? Let's talk about the law. Uganda's law in implementation. What are your 2 cents? Where is your mind? I see your mind is pouring a lot out, and it only needs your lips to utter.
There's no law. There's no law. We have a policy.
We have a policy.
Since 2019, the policy commands us to have a law. There have been attempts to have the law. The attempts have been scattered. It's very painful. And we say we need a law. You see, there is this deceit, very disingenuous and lying, that you are going to get people on the road and tell them to be nice and not overspeed. So that you please voluntarily keep speed. You must have fines. You must have cameras. You must have physical police officers, traffic. You must enforce. So this thing of saying that the alcohol industry is so nice and it is going to voluntarily not sell people under 18, but really, who does that? Kugumaza. It is chigumaza. The policy says 21. We ask that the policy be translated into law, and there are sanctions for you violating. And you know what we are asking for really is not new. In Kenya they have it. In Rwanda they have it. Those are our immediate neighbors. So we are not even asking for something strange or new. So there is no law. We need to have a law. A law that will regulate the packaging. One of the greatest risks we have is that alcohol is packaged in very small
thoughts.
And it is accessible and affordable to even the youngest and the poorest. And it is easy to hide. You know, we have been to schools and they put it in between bread. They just take away the white the bread, then they put it there and they go with their bread. So it passes. Why don't we package alcohol like we package water? Water is the most essential drink in the world. We package it in a bit of bigger. Why don't we do the same for alcohol? Then two, it is the content, the regulation of the content. Why do you have this little sachet, whatever bottle, and it has 40% alcohol? For God's sake, why do you want to murder our people? And
it's the cheapest.
And it is the cheapest, and it is the most potent, and it is available on the market. Our alcohol has been banned across the borders. We are still keeping it here. Really, it seems like we are on a suicide mission. So we need a law, we need it urgently, and we need it biting.
Edgar, yes. What is in the policy? Point out, outline what the policy says.
Regulation, very important. I will start with that part. Regulation of the product itself, but then when you look at the broader picture, regulate everybody around the product. You're talking manufacturers, you're talking sellers, distributors, even the consumers. Many times the consumers, for us, we're just consuming the product, but we don't really pay attention to those finer details. So we need to do all that. That is what the policy does, generally. It's a whole combined effort of so many people that just meant the ultimate goal is to minimize alcohol-related harm as much as possible.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a much concerted effort. This guy here.
What do you think, and I'll pose it to you, Mr. Baguma, what do you think, or why do you think the August House has failed over the years to bring this policy into our law? Because if it's a mere policy, there's nothing much it can do. Yes.
Doesn't have the
what do you think is causing the August House to dwindle on the issue?
I think it's a mixture of things. Some of them I can't say on air. Some of them are, but one is you have an alcohol industry that has a lot of resources that compromises some legislators. I think that's a very important thing. The other one is you have, you see people who hammer such a law are also in government. For example, you need to look at the big law firms that represent the alcohol industry, that are retained on retainer by the alcohol industry, and see some of the partners, the positions they occupy, even in government. So there is a conflict of interest among some of them. And when we talk about these things, then we attract a lot of negative attention. The other thing is the lies that the industry packages. The industry is so good that it sponsors all the media houses. All the media houses are intimidated to talk negatively about the alcohol industry because it's one of the biggest advertisers to them. So they use their financial power to manipulate information flow, including through what government officials write. There is an officer, for example, in the Ministry of Finance who has said, as long as I am here on this desk, we are not going to increase those taxes. And he is the one who originates the briefs that then will go to the director for tax or whatever and goes to the PSST and goes to the president. So this officer particularly, and I can tell you this officer is going to bring a client to some of our rehabilitation centers. All of them who are this arrogant, they all bring their children or nieces. This is what is sad and it is painful. They all come and do you know a good rehabilitation center? So there is that officer. They are the officers in trade.
Right.
Who tell lies about the death of night economy. We say, but let's take records. If you go to Kenya, which has this law, because the Kenyans at the border cross and come and drink, because for us we actually agari. But look, because these are public documents, all the alcohol industry, big companies, they publish their records of finance. There is none that has lost revenue. Even the Revenue Authority of Kenya has not reduced its income from the alcohol industry. So also the lies that we have. But also I think for me, there is a relative level of cowardice amongst some of our legislators. They think that this may cause problems with their drinking supporters in the villages. Finally, for me, I also think it's our weakness. We do not have adequate resources to take the MPs to retreats and educate them, to get the media to take to provide the good story. So the lack of resources also on our part as alcohol control advocates, I think, has been part of the problem.
Wow, the problem is much bigger than you think. And when the Honorable Balam Barugahara came out, it felt like maybe he's just bluffing. But when you hear it from those who sit at the table of policy making, the problem is actually worse and it's deep. Edgar, I will come to you. Are there statistics that could help us paint the picture of how bad the situation is, or maybe how fair the situation could be in Uganda? What do the statistics, what are the numbers saying?
I'm going to use a coloring scheme, red, orange and green.
Okay.
For a very long time, we have been in the red. When I say red, we are looking at everything is in thousands. You're talking road crashes, you're talking cancer cases, that is the new and the old. You're talking GBV, across the entire spectrum of GBV. You're talking crime, loss of productivity at work. On a personal experience and level, I feel so bad when I see somebody that has been employed, you know, for a while, lose their job and lose their work and lose out generally on the economy simply because of alcohol. It is very bad, very, very, very bad to me. It shows a big failure generally. There is something I read in this policy. I've been reading this policy from, I think, 2020, continuously. In here, there is a particular paragraph that says, from the year 2008, 2010, over 329 Ugandans died out of consuming adulterated alcohol. 329 people died in 2 years. That was 2010. What do you think happened in the year 2020, the year of COVID, where we were all at home? What do you think happened then in between 2020 and 2022?
Right, and indeed that drives the point home. Now, our time is fast spent.
I can put some statistics.
Yes, please.
Why are we number one? We are number one in Africa. I think that's an important statistic. When you look at the Cancer Institute, it's a study by the Cancer Institute. They actually have the statistics, they've been presenting it. One of the highest risk factors for the 7 killer cancers in Uganda Alcohol is one of the big. There are two main risk factors: alcohol and tobacco use. For every 100,000 people in Uganda now, it is estimated that 87 die because of alcohol-related. So it's estimated that we are losing about 22,000 people every year. If you divide that by 365, you'll see the average of the number of people that die every day in this country. Because it is estimated that about 40%, at least 40% of the road crashes that are happening now, and you know how we are dying on the roads, is because of drink driving. That's alarming. So I mean, that is alarming. So really, the problem is here. That is alarming. Yes, it is the Butamito. It is estimated that about 40% of that in the mental health is because of alcohol abuse. So it's it's really tough. Mr. Baguma, our time is really such an enemy. What are your parting shots? Let's have the law. Right. Let's have the law. Parliamentarians have the courage. Save the country from drowning in alcohol. Let's support ban. All right. The local governments must put up. Oh, and I tell you, even the local governments that have put up some laws, they are stuck at the Solicitor Generals. They make laws at the district, they get stuck at this. The Solicitor General, please allow the laws to go. Where are you going? And finally, for me, it is your person, you to start with. You, right. Me, please. Alcohol will kill you. Alcohol will kill you. Edgar, what is your final remark? We have to own the problem as Ugandans across all levels. That is one. But then two, what Honorable Balam did, he just threw the stone in the hornet's nest. Right. Now, the rest is entirely up to us to pursue that goal across all levels, whether you're in government, you're a civilian, you're in the forces. We all have our part to play. Right. Let us play it diligently. And thank you, UBC, for playing yours. Very well indeed. Looking forward to having you back because there's a lot to chew on in this conversation. Unfortunately, time always limits us, but we close it here. And I think we can take home what they have shared with us this morning. I've been speaking with Richard Baguma, who is the board chair at the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, with Edgar Ntensve, who is the online communications lead at UWAPA as well. And they've been speaking into Uganda's alcohol policy. A lot needs to be done. Uganda is dying. Your neighbor, your friend, your daughter, your son, my sister, your mother, your father, our relatives are dying because of alcohol. Something as simple as killing many and losing out on a nation that is one of the youngest nations in Uganda. For God and my country. Up next is Ruben with the sports.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
All of Africa, welcome everyone.